Hey, my name is Dr. Rob DeBeese, and I want to welcome you here today to the next Dr. Rob's whiteboard session. In today's whiteboard session, we're going to be covering all the junk and garbage that's in the foods that we eat, and we're going to be focusing on more natural, whole food, organic eating. Now, there's a couple different reasons why I really think we should all move towards a more natural style of eating, or at least more whole foods. You do not have to eat everything organic. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a list of the key foods that you absolutely should eat organic, that I call the dirty dozen. And then I'm going to give you a list of foods that it's okay if they're not organic, called the clean 15. So, but before I do that, I want to talk about some reasons why we should move to whole food styles of eating. And one of the reasons are food additives. Now, in our legal statute, there is a big definition of what a food additive is. And to save you guys a headache and to save some time in this video, I'm not going to read that. Instead, I'm going to tell you this. A food additive is a substance that they add to food, and the experts of America don't know if that additive is good or bad for your body. That's right. They have no clue. They think it's safe. It seems like it could be safe, but they really don't know the long-term effect of that particular additive in the foods, and they don't know if it's really going to help or if it's going to hurt. One of the things I recommend that you do is start reading your labels. Okay, check your labels, because here's some food additives. I'm going to read some off to you. So benzoates. So benzoates are compounds that are used to kill microorganisms, and yes, they're in your foods. Potassium sorbate, that's used for killing mold. Propylene glycol is my favorite, because that's what they use to de-ice the wings of planes. Like when you have an airplane and it's icy, they spray it with propylene glycol to get the ice off the wings. I would love that in my morning cereal. Just some propylene glycol would be wonderful. See, one of the things that they'll do, especially with cattle, is they'll give them antibiotics to help prevent disease and infection. As a matter of fact, over 80% of all the antibiotics that are present in the United States today are not used for human purposes. Isn't that crazy? They're not used to fight infections in a human. They put them in animals, and guess who eats the animals? The humans. But they're not used for humans, yet we get some of their byproducts when we eat those meats. So just another reason to eat more natural and organic foods is because many of those foods are genetically modified, especially things like corn and soy. And what's the big deal about that? Well, I'm going to give you some statistics right now. Genetically modified corn has been found to cause liver and kidney damage in rats. Now, I know we don't crawl around on the floor eating cheese, getting stuck in traps, but still, the rat physiology actually has a similarity to the humans, which is why they use rats and mice in testing. However, according to recent research, genetically modified corn causes liver and kidney damage in rats. So why do we have it in our foods? It doesn't make any sense. So I have with me my handy dandy list of the foods that should absolutely be eaten organic, in my personal opinion. So according to research that was done by the Environmental Working Group, this is what they found. They found peaches. 96.7% of all samples of peaches contained and were loaded with pesticides. Apples, 94% of all apples tested positive for pesticide. Sweet bell peppers, 81% tested positive for pesticides. Celery, 94%. Nectarines, 97%. Strawberries, cherries also tested very high for pesticides. Kale, which is one of my favorite vegetables to eat. I probably eat it daily because of its great antioxidant and great detoxifying properties. Found that over half of the samples of kale that were tested positive for pesticides. Lettuce and imported grapes were also high in pesticides. And the last but not least, carrots, 82.3% of carrots tested positive for pesticides. If Bugs Bunny knew this, he would have probably been chewing on something else other than a carrot stick. So what do these pesticides do? Well, let's just think about it for a second. Pesticides are used to kill things. That's what they're used for. So if you're consuming pesticides, do you think they're adding to your health and adding to your longevity and your life? Or do you think they might be detracting? And if you said detracting, move to the front of the class, because that is exactly what they do. They are poisons to your body. Talk about the good foods. Okay, onions, which are great antibacterial supporting products. They help to draw poisons and toxins out of your body. When these onions were sampled by the Environmental Working Group, what they found was over 90% of onions did not contain any pesticide residue at all. Avocados, less than 10% of avocados contained any pesticides. Frozen sweet corn, over 90% of those samples contained no pesticides whatsoever. Pineapples, less than. So what did we learn here today? I hope it was to eat more good quality whole foods, right? To stay away from foods that have food additives in it, which we don't even know if they're good or bad for your body. To stay away from hormone-enriched meats, which 80% of the U.S. cattle is. To stay away from pesticide-filled fruits and vegetables, and to put more of those good, nutritious fruits and vegetables in your body. So I hope you liked today's whiteboard session. If you found this information beneficial, please click on the subscribe button right down there and share with a friend, right? Spread the word. We want to get lots of people eating good, healthy foods. And I'll see you at the next Dr. Rob's whiteboard session. Thank you.